All right, this is kind of a competition thing, guys. I won't be so mean to your training partners, but you can do this. Shoot your hands up, pull them down. My grips are shorter. When I do this, I'm going to step one of my dominant legs forward. I'm going to crouch over my leg, and I'm going to keep my collars out, but I'm going to use my hands to block them. So now my sleeve grips are lower, and my collars are blocked by my hands. This allows me to defend myself, and it allows me to easily reach and get the grips that I want to, okay? So we're going to focus on the posture and how to set yourself up before we do on our grip fighting. So Houston and I are about to do a match. We come out, put our hands up. I get bent over and I'm blocking my collars, okay? I don't want to be open here. You guys see how I'm kind of blocking my collars? So if Houston comes in to get a grip, I'm stopping him, okay? We don't want to let our partner get grips, okay? Don't just haphazardly let your partner, don't come in like, grab me Houston, just grab my gi. We don't want to do that. Again, it's the same thing if he's on the ground and I just step into his guard and I'm like, all right, here, use your guard and sweep me, Houston. I don't want to step into somebody's legs. I want to go around their legs. I don't want to let them grab my gi. I want to stop them from grabbing my gi and use that against them. All right? So to get class started today, we're just going to do a little bit of grip fencing, and then we're going to get to the actual grip part, okay? So we're going to go over preventative measures, and then we're going to go into breaking mechanics, okay? So with our partners, pretty simple. We're going to get our postures with each other. Remember, everybody, shoot them hands up to the air, pull them back down, get your sleeves short, bend over your leg. I'm going to keep my hands up here. So we're just going to do a little, this is going to be kind of like a situational type sparring thing. We're not going to try and grapple. We're just going to be playing grip fighting, okay? So the goal here is to get your grips on your partner, whether it's sleeves or collar. A lot of the kids last class were like grabbing here. That's not a legal grip. It is a legal grip, but it doesn't do anything, okay? So we're looking for collars up here, sleeves, anywhere on the sleeves, okay? So what we're gonna do, so just reaching slowly. Houston reaches forward. So look, I can bring my hand to the inside and pass it off and use it. So look, inside, block, and push out. This is kind of kung fu-y stuff, I'm sorry, but it's necessary. So hand comes forward, block, push it out, and I can make myself a grip. So he comes out, I hit, and I circle it, and make a C grip on my partner's wrist. Now I own this grip. I can make a grip if I need to, or I can keep the clamp, but I can use this as an arm drag now. So I blocked his grip, and I use it as my grip instead. I didn't do this. I didn't just let him grab my collar. Now I have to break it and work myself out. Okay, so a person comes in with their first grip, block it, down. The other side. Good. Houston can come around. If he wants to come to the side, I can try and grab him as well. So if he comes around to the side to grab, I can always try and grab here. If he's going to get the grip on me at this point, this grip isn't very effective and I have inside control, so I'm not too worried. I can still swim and come in and get my underhook if I need to, okay? Keep your hands on the inside when you guys are doing this, okay? So focus on having inside control when you're doing this, all right? A couple different ways to break the grips. So again, fence them off. So Houston comes outside again. I can block. I can push this. I can still come down to the end of the sleeve, end of the lever, okay? So I want you guys to block. Try and get your C grip if you can, okay? Multiple ways. He comes in narrow, block, push it out, get my C grip. He comes wide, block it, come down, right? C grip on the wrist, okay? I just want you guys blocking, so you guys, just to give you like an idea of what it looks like. All right, I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go for like 30 seconds. All right, go Houston, just try to grab me. The goal here is the goal is to stop the grips. If they grab you, it's not the end of the world. We're not competing with each other right now. So if Houston gets one grip on me, okay, all right, well, I'm not gonna break it right now. We'll go over breaking it a little later, but I'm gonna keep fencing off. Okay, everyone got it? Try to keep your partners from getting grips on you. We're just gonna focus on this part first, and then we'll get into the actual grip breaking when they do get the grips on you, okay? Sound good? All right, on 3, 1, 2, 3. couple grips we're gonna go over first. All right, we're gonna go over our collar grips, all right? You've got a same side collar grip and a cross collar grip. The same side is whenever I can reach my same side hand and reach directly forward and make a grip. If you notice, I've got my thumb in and my fingers are on the outside. So fingers are on the outside, but I roll the gi in a manner to where I make a grip. So I'm rolling the gi and I'm holding it like so. My thumb is on the inside. This is a same side grip. This grip is generally used for pushing and pulling forward and backwards. The benefits of this grip are, there's a lot of benefits to it. From a stand-up purpose, if you're a wrestler, if Houston wanted to shoot it like a double or single on me, the moment I get this grip on his collar, it's kind of null and void because it's called a collar grip. Your grip needs to be on their collar. Generally, I want my pinky or my pointer finger right here where my partner's collar would be. The reason for this is like the main part of their skeletal structure, and it kind of holds everything together. So if Houston tries to push into me, I can just keep my arm locked out, and there's really not a lot he can do. If he drops down to take a shot on me, I can just keep my arm locked out and stop him. So if you're a wrestler, one grip can stop you essentially at the gi. Something to keep in mind if you are a wrestler, you like to wrestle. So if you like singles and doubles, I don't want to sit here and let my partner grab my collar. Now I can't grab my partner's legs. If I'm a wrestler, I want to shoot singles and doubles, I want to try and stop these grips and get in when they don't have the grips on me, okay? Judo's a little different. You can do throws when your partners have grips and whatnot, but you can't really have grips when you go to shoot for singles or doubles, so keep that in mind. Next grip we're going to go over is the cross collar grip. So I'm going same arm across the body. So I'm going to have 4 fingers on the inside of the collar, my thumb is on the outside. This isn't so much of a pushing grip depending on the angle, because if I push, his gi's going to come off. It's definitely more of a pull type grip. So if I was trying to go for maybe like a collar drag, shooting on the leg or something, I could do that. I generally want to use that as a pulling option. So when you guys are doing these grips, keep in mind what they're doing, because if you're going to be going for a takedown that you want your partner to go back with, I wouldn't necessarily want to get grips like these. These grips, I'll maybe be pulling my partner to me, trying to get the leg forward to snap in for a single. Whereas if I'm with this grip right here, maybe I'm pushing, trying to make space to shoot in for an underhook or something. All right, so just keep these things in mind. If we are low on the collar, I didn't address this earlier with you guys, generally we don't want to grab down here because there's not a whole lot I can do with this. Houston can just walk into me or he can push the grip off. It doesn't do a whole lot for him. I can use this as subterfuge though and try to bait my opponent. So if I grab this, Houston will have to break it. And once he goes to break it, I can come in and get my actual collar grip higher up where I want it to be. If you are lower, you really do need to cinch that thing a little bit higher up though, because again, it's not too useful. If you're trying to play some lapel guards, you can definitely try and smack it out maybe before you pull guard or something, but just keep that in mind when you're grip fighting with your partner. You can definitely use these things to set things up. All right, so those are your collar grips, and that's more or less how they work. Some sleeve grips now. So sleeve grips are a little more dynamic, especially in a standing position. So our first one that we're going to go over is our normal one, our fingertip grip. Our fingertip grip is very important. This is the most common one you guys usually catch. A lot of times we use these on the ground a lot, so you guys tend to gravitate towards these grips, which is natural. When I go for this grip though, I'm going to pinch my pointer finger and my thumb, and I'm going to roll the gi into my hand. If you guys see, I'm making a little pocket for my fingers to stick into. This allows me to roll my knuckles into my partner's arm and push into them. So if Houston tries to push his arm into me, it proves to be a little bit more difficult than it would be normally. I don't want to get this grip and just hold it out here to the side, because Houston has full range of motion of his hand now. He can rotate and he can start going. A lot of our grip breaks from the sleeve require rotation of the wrist. Okay? Be mindful, all my new people. It's a big no-no. Don't put those 4 fingers into the collars. So you can do this in your own. So I can go 4 fingers in my own gi, cuffs on either pants or sleeves. On my partner, it's a big no-no, especially on the legs. If I do that and I twist it up and they kick out really hard, it'll snap my fingers. It's a safety thing. In a competition, you will get a disadvantage, I think. You won't get DQ'd right off the bat for a bad grip like that. So just keep it in mind. It's more for your safety. It's not just to be a pain in the butt, really. Everything else is legal in terms of grips, though, okay? So avoid 4 fingers inside your partner's cuffs. That's why we always pinch and roll. And we're gonna go over a couple more grips. You guys will see how we make those grips. So fingertip grip again. I'm pointer, I roll it into my hand. Remember guys, we don't want to be lazy and keep it open like this to where Houston can rotate his hand fully and pop the grip off. When I get this grip, I want to roll my knuckles in, and I want to punch it down and make it my grip, okay? So there's having a grip, and then there's owning a grip. Make sure you own your grip when you get it, okay? So grip with purpose and grip with reason. Don't just haphazardly like, oh, they showed me these grips, so I'm going to do these, okay? You want to grab them with a reason, okay? I want to get the sleeve, I want to dominate the sleeve. I want to get the collar, I want to dominate the collar. use them to your advantage. All right, so fingertip grip. Next one we're gonna go over is, this one's one of my favorite grips. Steve and I were just talking about this. This is a traditional judo grip. It's called a palm grip. So it's usually a little bit easier because getting the fingertip grip takes a little finesse and practice. This one, I slap and I grab. So all I'm doing is I'm grabbing the material and I'm making, you can definitely tighten it up a little more. I was just kind of giving an example. It's a quick little smack and grab grip. This is a phenomenal grip for a lot of judo takedowns. So when I come in for anything like so, if I'm trying to pull my partner, pull their posture, this grip gives me a great advantage with pulling. So any type of judo takedown where you have to rotate your partner and pull, this is almost always one of your best friends. This can also be applied up here on the tricep as well. Same thing. So we're doing a palm grip. You can go all the way up here on the tricep, all the way down on the sleeve. These give great pulling power, all right? Next grip, again, is now going to be a motorcycle grip. This one's probably the least popular of all the grips. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna take the material, I'm gonna curl it into a little, I don't know, it's called a motorcycle grip, I guess. Motorcycle grip thingy. It's bunched up, and you just essentially grab the material like so, so it looks pretty much like this. This is usually used for certain guards for the most part. You won't encounter it too often in a stand-up scenario, but if you can grab the material and twist it up like this, it really wraps their hand up and it makes it hard for Houston to rotate over my arm, and I can actually use it pretty well. Getting the grip itself is a little more challenging, okay? Generally from a standing position, we're either gonna get our fingertip grip or we're gonna get our palm grip. When you guys get your palm grip, try to take all the slack out of the gi so it wraps their hand fully. I know I showed you guys like a quick little grab. This gives him a little more slack in his gi. When I get this grip, I really want to try and pull all the material out and roll it into my palm so that Houston's hand is fully locked up in this grip now, okay? All right, so just a review, we got our collar grip, same side, cross collar grip, fingertip grip, palm grip, and motorcycle grip, okay? Cool. Generally, you're just going to use those first two. This one is used definitely, and I will tell you guys when we're going over it at some point when we use it. But for the most part, play with these grips. All right. So we're going to go over. I guess we'll just go over doing those grips first. We'll just do that for about 5 minutes, and then we'll get to the actual breaking of the grips. Okay. Sound good? All right. 3, 1, 2, 3. So my partner comes forward and they get a collar grip on me, and we're going to start with same side. Guys, all these grips we're going to start off with same side. So when we go to the sleeve breaking, and I show you guys a sleeve grip, don't do the cross sleeve grip because I will go over that option. But right now, stick it, keep it with the same side. Guys, your sleeves operate the same as your collar. I kind of neglected this. Same side sleeve would be directly in front of me. Cross sleeve would be when I go across my partner's center line. My partner's center line is just draw an imaginary line down their body, cuts their nose in half. If I go across that at any point, I'm doing a cross grip. So if I go across the line, cross collar, cross the line, cross sleeve, cross the line, cross pants grip. We don't say that very often, but it's a cross grip. So, all right, my partner comes forward and they grab my gi with that hand. All right, so we're gonna break the collar grip. We got a couple different ways we're gonna break the grip. Okay, we're gonna go over my favorite way, and then we're gonna go over like the basics, like go-to way. I don't want to say go-to way. It's kind of your last resort, I guess you could say. So. First grip, we're gonna do the 2-on-1 grip break. You guys remember, everybody in here has different body weights and sizes, so if you're smaller and you go get somebody bigger, their one arm versus your one arm is gonna be very difficult for you to break a lot of times. A lot of your one arm grip breaks kind of require a size similarity, so a lot of these grip breaks are gonna utilize a 2-on-1. So keep this in mind when you're going to break grips. If we both have neutral grips on each other, like so, and like right here, so if I have to let go of Houston's collar to come break his sleeve, mind you, if he's holding my sleeve right, he may not let me get my hand back, or if I do come to bring my hand back, I'm like letting go of this option. Maybe he could let go and come to my collar, and then he could release here and grab my sleeve. It's a bit of a game when you guys are grip fighting, okay? So keep in mind as people are going for grips, that could be your time or your chance to go and switch them off and get more advantageous grips, okay? So while Houston's in on my collar, I'm gonna come over, I'm gonna make a 2-on-1 fingertip grip, okay? So both hands, remember, fingertips, roll the gi. You're doing it with 2 of your hands, so you're gonna make a bigger cuff on this one, okay? This grip is awesome because we can use it for our arm drag, which we'll go over at the end of class. We're gonna push out on the grip, okay? So when I do this grip, I'm gonna push all the way out. My partner's gi is gonna start letting the slack come out. If you notice, my partner's got a loose gi. Houston's is a little tight, but that works better for me for anything. I'm gonna push it out until all the slack is gone out of the grip, okay? Once all the slack is gone, I want to start pressuring down, and I'm gonna pop my head back. The reason we wanna take the slack out is because trying to break the grip when there's all the slack doesn't work for me. I need to take all the slack out, and now it's time to break. So I take the slack out of the sleeve. I'm going to push forward and down so that I bend his arm, and I'm gonna posture backwards. Make sure you pull your head back and use your body to break the grip. I don't wanna just use my upper body to try and break the grip. That's silly. I wanna push and pull back to break the grip off. Remember, use your body to your advantage. Don't just use your arms. You need to use your back. Your back's super strong, okay? So again, 2-on-1 fingertip grip. I'm gonna push it all the way out till the slack's out. I'm gonna push down and at an angle so that I put a bend in his arm, and I'm going to pull back on myself. All right? So again, Houston reaches out, gets his grip. 2-on-1, I'm gonna push it out, pull myself back. Guys, after we break the grip, remember, same thing applies with our fingertip grip. I don't just stay here. I don't just let go of his grip either, because then he can just come back into my collar and grab me again, okay? So if you break a grip, own it after you break it. So I roll it, pop it out, break it. I'm gonna punch it down, and remember, use both your knuckles. And now, Houston's arm is now my arm. It's not his anymore, it belongs to me, okay? So if you guys can ever break the grip in this manner and keep your grip, it's very beneficial for you, okay? I extend out, pop it, push down. And now I have 2-on-1 and I own the sleeve. Now the arm drag is gonna be an easy one for me, but we'll go over that at the end of class today a little bit, just so you guys have some options, okay? All right, next option. So maybe my partner's got super duper strong hands, like Mike or James or somebody that's got those super monster grips and they're just hard to break. You're gonna have to actually peel some people's hands off, honestly. There's some people just have those grips, or you're in a competition. In a competition, people cling on for their life and death because they got all that adrenaline pumping. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open their grip up essentially. So when I come to break this grip, this is gonna be pretty similar to one of our sleeve grip breaks. We're gonna bring our fingers inside and we're gonna grab the meat of our hand. So the meat of your hand is right here on your thumb. My goal is to turn my partner's knuckles down to the floor. It's gonna make it a little bit easier for my breaking process as I do this, okay? So fingers go inside, I grab the meat of the hand, I'm gonna rotate outwards so that his knuckles go down, okay? If you notice your partner's grip should be starting to get peeled off a little bit because you are pulling their thumb out of the equation at this point, now it's gonna be an easy break for me. My hand's gonna come to the top, grabbing the wrist. I'm gonna use my hands, I'm gonna push and pull down on the grip, and same thing, I'm gonna pull back on my body, okay? So hands are pushing away, my body's going back. So I'm gonna turn the knuckles down, push, and peel the grip off. And honestly, when people are holding on for dear life, it is gonna feel like you're actually peeling, they're gonna go one finger at a time, okay? So I turn it, I start peeling, grip comes off. Again, guys, I have a 2-on-1. It's not exactly the 2-on-1 that I want, but I can use this to my advantage. I can switch off, I can make grips, however I need to do. Use it and dominate the grip after that point. Again, don't just break someone's grip off. I'm gonna do it again. Okay, so don't let go of it. Hold it, get the sleeve, whatever. You can start playing with it from that point, okay? So again, Houston comes in, reaching in, grabbing the meat of the hand. I'm gonna turn the knuckles to the floor so they face downwards. This is so that I can push down with my top arm. Guys, you can turn them out if they're being difficult and try and break this way. It's a little harder for me to kind of pull my body and push this way. I'm gonna look kind of like funny trying to break his grip this way. So turn the knuckles down so that you can push and pull down. All right, sound good? So just to recover, we're just gonna do collar grip breaks and then we'll get into the sleeve. My partner grabs my collar, 2-on-1 sleeve grip, push out the grip until the tension's out. I'm gonna push down and at an angle, pop my head back. Option number 1. Option number 2, that's not working for me. He might be too strong, or you might just favor this one better than the other. Whatever your cup of coffee is here. I'm gonna reach over, get inside of the meat of the hand. I'm gonna turn the wrist over, grab the top of his wrist. I'm gonna push and pull. Sound good? Remember guys, don't get lazy after that grip break. Try to hold on and figure out a grip that works for you after you break it off, okay? So when I get done with Houston, I'm grabbing his wrist, I'm grabbing his hand. So I can keep these. If you guys know what to do from here, go for it. If you don't know what to do, transfer. You can do your palm grip, your sleeve grip, fingertip grip, whatever you want to do, okay? Just try to make a grip after the fact, after you do that second one, okay? All right, we'll do this for a few minutes and we'll get on to the sleeves. 1, 2, 3. C grip, remember make your C, rotate it. I want to be on the side of the wrist, thumb underneath, 4 fingers over top. And I am punching out to you guys so you can see, but when I'm in an actual grappling scenario, I'm going to punch it towards their stomach and pop it off. All right, so again, they grab, circle, pop. Second option, if he does the cross grip, remember guys, play with that to turn the wrist up and pop it off. Because again, grabbing over in our traditional way, you guys see how like this is just kind of awkward for me. It's like feels weird trying to break the grip this way. So it would be a little more beneficial for you to grab the wrist, rotate it, and then you could always rotate your hand on top as well. So once you open the hand, remember you can use your hands together in conjunction. So if you need a better pushing breaking grip, so reach over, rotate it back, grab and change your hands out. That way I can push down because it is kind of hard to push with an awkward grip like that. I like to push with my palm going down. It's a little more mechanically efficient, I'd say. So, any questions? All right, I'll drill it out, guys. On 3, 1, 2, 3.
So when we're grip fighting, you guys don't realize how important grip fighting is in almost every level of your jiu-jitsu. So it's one of the, when you get the basics of grip fighting, you're going to win more fights, because there's times when I need a grip, there's times when I need to let go of a grip, because not every grip is a good grip, right, Vic? So there are grips that are good grips and there are grips that are not good grips, okay? So when I'm grip fighting, especially on my feet, most of the time, right, my inside grip fight with my upper arm, so when I'm going to the collar, I always want to have the inside grip, okay? So I have the inside grip right now. If he comes underneath my arm, is inside of my grip, he has the inside grip. And it all has to do with leverage in the elbow. So if I come inside here, right, I can control his body and his leverage by lifting my elbow. If he lifts his elbow, he controls nothing. So this is the more dominant grip for me to have. Okay, so a lot of the times you'll get into here and he gets a grip and I go to get my grip. Except for what I'll do is I'll bring my hand in here on the inside of his hand to get my grip so that I have the more dominant grip. This negates his grip. Okay, so same thing when it comes to the sleeve gripping, right? So sleeve gripping, right? If he's got this sleeve grip here and I can reach outside and grab that grip there, I now have the dominant grip. I'm outside of his grip. So with the sleeve grip, it's the outside grip that is the more dominant grip. Okay, so collar grip, inside grip is the dominant grip. Sleeve grip, outside grip is the dominant grip. That's why when we're sleeve gripping, we're trying to grip in ways where they can't circle their hand because if I'm here and he circles, he's going to have circle and go to the fingertip, right? We've got the same grip, except for his is now dominant because now my hand is facing the ground where I have less power. He's now got more power to pull me because he has this, right? And there's a lot more power in your arm when you do that versus when your hand is facing down, right? And my grip is weakened because all of the material is now pushing against the weaker side of my hand as to where he's got all of the power in his fingers the way that he's holding it. So I would now, if he's going to circle to the outside there, now I'm going to grip break, right? So now he's here, I'm going to come to the inside or come to the outside and break and try to get a dominant grip back, okay? So I said, sleeve grips, outside grip is dominant, collar grips, inside grip is dominant, okay? So here's how we play this game, right? So if I'm controlling a sleeve and a collar and he tries to come inside, I'm going to turn my elbow to prevent him from getting inside grip, all right? I'm not going to let him get inside grip. If I've got control of the hand, right, I'm not going to let him circle. My elbow, my arm's going to flare out, and I'm going to roll my knuckles into the sleeve so that he cannot rotate. Okay, so that stops him from rotating his hand onto the outside of my hand. It also stops his little C grip break, right? His Corey grip break, what he thinks is his white belt technique he made up, right? So, which has been around for years. But anyway, so the grip breaking, is always understanding who has dominant grips and who doesn't have dominant grips. Because a lot of the times you're both going to have grips, all right? He's going to establish grips. I'm going to establish grips. Now, who's dominant, right? He's got a dominant grip. I've got to reestablish. So, and a lot of times I have to make the decision of, do I let go of the weaker grip to reestablish the more dominant grip? If I'm grabbing here and here, this is the dominant grip, okay? This is a good grip, right? But it's not the dominant grip in this scenario. We were working a minute ago, and one of the guys had this grip and this grip, which is the dominant grip.
Left hand.
This is now the dominant grip because it's the better of the two grips. So he doesn't have to address this. He now needs to address that. Do you see what I'm saying? So you have to understand what's dominant, what's not dominant, right? I never want this one. This is a no-go, okay? So this is the one I've always wanted to either redominate, readdress with my own grip, being on the inside, or break off so that I can control, okay? I don't mind so much the cross collar because it has only the power to pull me across the body, which if I understand that, it's very easy for me to stop, okay? But this has the power to pull me down, push me backwards, right? Pull me this way or push me that way. It's got all of the directions in it. So that's the most dominant grips so you need to always try to prevent that grip from happening. And when it does happen, it's okay. You don't have to freak out. I just got to go, okay, do I want to grip break or do I want to redominate, right? So if we're in an equal grip fight, right? So he gets a grip, I have a grip, right? He gets a grip, right? I have a grip. This is 50-50, right? I've got the same grips that he has. Nobody's winning this grip fight right now. All right, so we have to make a decision as to how do we address this so that we can start winning this grip fight, right? I want to address his dominant grip. I'm going to have to let go of something in order to do that. So I'm going to either have to take a risk because I don't need to address this grip because it's not really controlling anything. You see what I'm saying? I need to address this grip that is controlling something. So I'm going to have to let go of here to come to here so that I can break off, come back, and get my dominant grip. All right? So understanding which grip is dominant, which grip is not dominant, you're going to figure a lot of those things out in jiu-jitsu when you grab a hold of somebody and it's just not working. Like, I've got this thing and it's just not working. And when you're new, a lot of times you're trying to break grips that don't mean anything, right? You're just trying to stop everybody from grabbing you anywhere. And sometimes when you don't understand what's good and what's not good, you just don't want them touching you. And so you're playing slap fight, right? So you're just trying to keep hands off of you, where it's not necessarily, if they put their hands there, understanding where am I in trouble and where am I not in trouble. So if we just talk about the stand-up game, right? You're in trouble if they have collar grip and or sleeve grip on the outside, right? That's what you need to address. Okay, so you always need to be addressing collar grips and or sleeve grips. The sleeve grips on the outside, collar grips on the inside. So you want to redominate by coming in or circling out on the sleeve grips. Okay, so if he's got dominant grips here, and he's got dominant grips there, I can come here and I can come here, and now I'm dominant and he's not. Okay, so he's going to have to readdress. And a lot of times when they're here and he fences his elbow in and I can't get inside of there, right? Here's an easy way to get that grip back. Okay, instead of trying to go in here, it's difficult. He can't stop me from coming in there. So elbows in, I come here, and then I shove my arm down his arm to get my grip back. Okay, because this is hard to get inside of. When he drops his elbow in, I can't get underneath the elbow to get back to the grip, but I can get here. He can't block me from getting my hand underneath his wrist. Okay, so now I get here, I shove down his arm to reestablish my grip. Okay, so those are simple tips to help you guys when you're in the stand-up grip game as to what matters and what doesn't matter, right? So a lot of times if a guy grabs my lapel and he grabs it down here, I'm not even going to address it, right? I might even, because I can move anywhere I want to. If I have all of this range of motion and he can't stop me from doing any of it. So this doesn't really matter to me. So I'm not necessarily going to always address that. So, but there are times where, when he's got that collar grip, I got to address that right away, right? Otherwise, and we were talking about this earlier during open mat, know what you're doing when you get a grip. I don't want to get a grip just to have a grip, okay? Just so that I'm preventing them from doing something. Because that's what the answer was when I asked. I said, what are you getting that grip for? It's to stop them. Stop them from what, right? So stop them from taking you down. That means you're not actively trying to take them down.